Well, let's go over to Bauchi State now, find out the pulse of things there. Our correspondent Hajara Ali joins us now. Hajara.
Yeah, I'm at one of the polling units here in the metropolis, the Angwang Alkali Aminu polling unit, Majidadi A. It's in the heart of Bauchi City, and voting is ongoing. You can see people still on the queue, despite the fact that they started this process early enough, like they started around 9. Even though it started out slowly in Bauchi State, across some polling units, the situation is quite different. Well, I just left one of the polling units in Baba City, and voting is also ongoing. That polling unit, they started voting there around 12 noon. So you can see that this will drag until evening. The voting process will drag until evening, but it's quite peaceful here. Everything is going on smoothly. The beavers is working in most places we've been to. There are just 1 or 2 places where they had problems with the beavers, but in most places, in some of the places most of the places that we've been to, everything is working smoothly. And the one thing that is quite impressive is the turnout of women. We're seeing so much participation of women in Bauchi State. Most of them have come out. Some of them even come with food. Some buy food in the polling units to eat. Once they vote, they come in groups actually, and then they wait for their team to finish, and then they proceed back home.
And voting in groups can be, fun. Hajara, in terms of, 2:30 has passed and that is the time, but I'm seeing there's a large crowd there. Can one still join the queue to vote even though it's past 2:30?
Most of the people you see here have been on the queue since morning. It's not as if they're joining the queue now. They've been here since morning. So that's why they are allowed to still vote. According to the INEC, according to the law, what we heard is that as long as you are on the queue before 2:30, you will be allowed to cast your ballot. So most of them have been here since morning.
Can I ask you, what was the reason why there was the delay, to the process earlier on? You are in your answer, you mentioned the fact that it started off slowly. What was the reason for that? Did it have anything to do with the equipment or the personnel arrival or materials?
Okay, the INEC in Bauchi has not yet responded to the question. I reached out to the resident electoral commissioner earlier, and he said he was waiting for reports from the electoral officer to give him feedback of why the voting process commenced late. But what we saw was that I was at one of the registration area centers by 11 a.m. and at 11 a.m. they were still distributing voting materials to some of the polling units. It was very, very slow. I received calls from some polling units. They were really agitated, complaining that voting has not started and it was few minutes to 12. They were quite worried, but I think it was impressive that they had to organize themselves in a group. They appointed leaders who would go to the ward areas, to the registration area centers to find out why the delay, why this is happening. And then that was how they knew that the problem was from the registration area centers. But sometimes people could get discouraged and go back home. But we saw people waiting until the materials arrived the polling units for them to cast their ballot. So the level of interest is quite impressive.
How about security? How about the security situation? What's it like?
It's very peaceful here in Bauchi. It's calm. We've been seeing security personnel patrolling, moving from one polling unit to the other. So we've not had any cases of security problems here in Bauchi. It's peaceful for now.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Hajara. Please keep us updated. We'll be getting back to you for more updates as the day progresses. Thank you very much.